ages, whether they're, you know, from teens through the elderly. We have a number of resources at the hospital. We even have a hospice at the hospital for the care of those.
And she is a microbiologist and taught on the collegiate level, and then has had several years in elementary school. Why don't you give them a little bit more about that, Pam, and the science?
I'm excited to be here today to see all of your ideas and just encourage you with what you're doing. It's wonderful, and we're just excited to hear from you very soon.
And Roz is our business manager. And she comes, well, Roz, you could explain your background?
Well, most of my background has been was in finance. And several years as a caregiver in my personal life, taking care of a sister who is disabled. And then I went on to be a professional caregiver for a few years as well, taking care of an elderly woman who is 86 years old. And really grew to love the caregiving as a profession. And then an opportunity for a business manager came up in Integrate Caregivers, which was just a perfect marriage of my business background and my newfound passion for caregiving. So here I am.
Thank you.
Very good.
Okay.
Why don't you guys start?
Okay.
Because our guys can benefit from hearing their presentation.
Sure. Lead better. All right. We are still in the formulative stages, so this is informal presentation. Like, we don't really even have our presentation yet. We have our ideas. So, what we usually do, because team building is important to us and we want to make sure everybody includes, is this team pretty much has a way of communicating, which is they huddle, and they start with Josh, and then they go to the right to make sure everybody gets a chance to speak. Hi, Josh.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to be up first. So what I'm going to do is ask you guys a question, and you're going to answer it. And if you're not sure, you can pass. Remember?
Why is it always Josh?
But that was the team decided a couple of meetings ago.
I don't remember deciding that. Whatever, Beckett.
So, Josh, can you tell me, after talking to one of Mr. Cox's support team, his lovely daughter Beth, what did we come up with as a potential problem that seniors could maybe use help with?
The problem that we came up with the seniors was them having to schedule their appointments and like when to take their medications and also how to get to their appointments, like maybe if they can't drive anymore, and it also tells you like what medication to take and when you have to do it, how to take it. You're running low on this medicine, you need more of that because your prescription's running low. And also, we were thinking of like if you don't have a computer or smartphone and tablet.
Well, let's not get to the solution yet. What we talked about was the overall coordination of managing your personal health.
We put all these little devices on to feel how it was to be a senior. Like we put glasses on that were yellow. We put wax in our ears for hearing disability, and corns in our shoes to feel how it is to walk. And
What you put on your fingers?
we put popsicle sticks on our fingers for arthritis, and we tried to open a medicine bottle and 2 pill cases and put the pills inside the bottle.
They went through a 3-hour simulation. Cox, we went to the hospital. Luke, can you tell us about our interview with Mr. Cox? What do you remember?
Our interview with Mr. Cox, very interesting because we learned that he went to many different places in his life, and that he had, at one point he had many problems of, like, a problem from, like, let's say, example from his heart, and then he'd have another problem, and then all the problems would get piled up, and then they wouldn't know which doctor to go to.
Well, I don't think that's true of Mr. Cox.
Not Mr. Cox, but just saying for other people, like other seniors, they wouldn't know what doctor to go to and what time, and it would get all confused. It was about a lady who was paralyzed, and she couldn't like move and stuff, so she had a voice activated system that could like click a mouse or pick up a water bottle or something for her.
It's in her brain.
Yeah, in her brain too, so she would like think just like
It's like
click the
mind
mouse.
control.
Not voice activated.
Yeah, it's not mind activated. So it would do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so,
You may have a population who's comfortable with the computer. You may have a population of elderly folk who are comfortable, so that you're aware there's going to be,
I'll give you an example out of our senior club,
yeah,
right? There are 3 people that have email addresses out of 63.
yeah.
3 out of 63?
Wow, yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So if you're meaning to implement this today, or next week, or next year, I think you're gonna be very challenged on the number of people you can reach to help through that technology.
You may be more in-depth at reaching them if you had the phones. Phones now can put a lot of information into their phones, and can also give you rings at certain times, you know, especially with medications. Medications, when you talk about medications, the person's supposed to take it 3 times a day. Does that mean 3 times while they're awake, or is it 3 times during the 24-hour day?
That's my
So that
question.
it's supposed to be a 24-hour day, so that you
wake
keep.
me up in the middle of the night.
So that, well, you know, you can do it at, you know, most of the seniors are up early. So, I mean, you know, if you're doing it every 8 hours, you can do 6, 2, and 10. You know, you can make it up at 7, you know, 7, 2, and 10, or whatever. You know, to go to bed earlier, but you wanna try to get it, as much in a 24-hour clock, so that you keep a proper blood level of your medication, so that you don't lose the effectiveness of the medication. So you have that. Also, in the same point, with that, you can also have them, if they're on medications, keeping a listing of all their medications, because if they were to go to the hospital, one of the first questions are asked to them are, what medications do you take? And if, you know, many of them do not remember them by name, because, you know, some of the seniors are taking a number of medications. Some only take a couple, some take none. I mean, really, some take no medication at all, but if they have it, it makes it so much easier when they're being treated, because you don't want to give someone a medication that may interact with something that they're taking already. So that way they can keep it if they go to their doctor's appointments. So many of them have they have their general practitioner, they go to a cardiologist, they go to a neurologist, they go wherever. If they have the listing of what they have, they can give it to the physician, so that physician that's seeing them that day knows exactly what they're taking from all of their physicians. And that can be done in the phone, you know, so, you know, you may be better off with the phone concept rather than the computer concept, because of the lack of knowledge or their lack of really wanting to become more computer literate.
Well, it's kind of interesting, I'm thinking of a parallel in like
Right.
third world, they went straight to smartphones.
Right.
Like skipped the whole computer thing, and now
Right.
communicate.
Pam, do you want to add, you were talking before?
Well, I was just adding, just the element of, some of the disabilities aside from